What? Oh, why would you start off slurping?
Monday.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up? How's it going?
Look, man, we got a lot of things to discuss today, and most of it is going to be very negative. And you know what? I'm fucking here for it. It's time for me to be negative. Usually you're the one that's like, you know what, I'm feeling negative today. Well, I am too, goddammit. And it's time to shit on some stuff. It's time to say what looks bad and what doesn't. And I'm ready. I am so ready. We got a lot of trailers I'm going to shit on. We got a show that I just can't wait to shit on. Go ahead, Monty. Sorry.
I was saying I feel like you're more negative than me these days.
What?
I'm the voice of optimism on the show these days.
You're not.
I don't know, we kind of switched. At first, you're like, oh, I love this, I love that, I love this. And I was like, anyways.
That's not true. Okay, let's do it.
Let's get into it.
Oh, wait. Before we get into it, guys, remember to like the video, comment down below. Who is more negative? Is it me or is it Monty? Long-time listeners, you let us know.
No one's gonna answer. No one.
Literally no one.
Literally no one. Let's talk about what's to come. Apple confirms that Severance season 2 is in production. So I was a big fan of Severance season 1. This is a show starring Adam Scott, directed by Ben Stiller. So if you're in the sci-fi, guys, I highly recommend it. It's a great show. It was a lot of hiccups with season 2. It's been a long time, so it's finally coming. Severance. Jim Carrey will return as Dr. Robotnik in Sonic 3. Now, I was so sad. I was so sad when I found out he wasn't going to come back for Sonic 3 because I thought he's like such an appealing thing in the Sonic movies. But now I'm so happy. I know you don't like him for some reason, but it's Jim fucking Carrey. Like, he's a legend.
Exactly. It's Jim Carrey in a fucking Sonic movie when I want to see Sonic, but this nigga's around here. Like, I'm good.
He started though.
Yeah, he did. Like, these niggas basically got like Denzel Crocker from Jim Carrey, and I'm just now realizing it. Like, literally, it's hitting me right now. But yeah, here we go again. Part 3, Jim Carrey. Yeah, can't wait.
It was rumored that he might have retired after Sonic 2, so that Sonic 3 script must be fucking fire. That nigga said, I'm back, bitch.
No. This nigga's reading. He was like, hold on. Who's this shadow? Like, what? Yeah, I'm there, bitch. Like, yeah.
It's rumored right now. It's not confirmed that Kristen Ritter has also joined the cast of Sonic 3. The Jessica Jones herself, and it's rumored that she might be Rogue the Bat. So that'd be really cool. I love Sonic's little friends. I don't know if people are familiar with him like them as I am, like Shadow and Rogue and Tails, Knuckles, all them. So I'm happy that we're getting all them back.
You know what? I could fucking do it, but I'm not. Let's move on, Monty. Shout out to Kristen Ritter.
Me? Me?
I love all Sonic's little friends. Okay. Nigga names the most obvious Knuckles and Tails and shit. I mean, you're funny. You're hilarious.
Speaking of Idris Elba, who plays Knuckles, his new show Hijack, about him on a plane, has been renewed for a second season at Apple TV Plus. So I never watched the first season, but it must have done well enough for him to get a second season. I don't know why he's committing to a show. I think he's just silver screen and on. I don't know why he's doing these little stupid shows, but hey, it must be a good show.
You can do both, man. You can do both.
You can, but not when you're Idris Elba.
Okay.
Jonathan Majors and Idris Elba, my favorite. A spinoff of the Black Mirror episode USS Callister will begin production later this year. Jesse Plemons, Kristen Milotti, and Jimmy Simpson are reportedly confirmed to return in the 3-episode series. So this is a show. Black Mirror, of course, is a show, but they have their own like anthology series. This is one of the best episodes people love called USS Callister. It's like a Star Trek inspired episode. It's one of my personal favorites. So I'm so happy it's getting 3 more episodes because I love that show, or that in particular show. I think a lot of fans are gonna be happy about this. O'Shea Jackson, son of Ice Cube, confirmed that Den of Thieves 2 is happening. This is a 50 Cent robbery. I think isn't John Bertha on there in the first one?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen the first one.
Okay. Me either. I know people love it. So Den of Thieves 2 is coming. Denis Villeneuve says that Dune Messiah will be his final Dune film if it's greenlit. So the original Dune movie came in the 80s. The story was only Dune 1 and Dune 2 that we're going to see. That's the whole story. But there's another book, which is like a Dune sequel book that Dennis wants to also adapt to a movie. So that'd be really cool. We can get like a trilogy out of this because that'd be kind of like unmarked territory for people who haven't read the book. So I'd be super here for this. So yeah, what do you think about this?
People like you that refuse to read the literature. Yeah, sure. I guess this is cool.
I mean, would you want a Dune 3 or do you just like it?
I didn't want Dune 2, but here we are.
You didn't want Dune 2, really?
No, I didn't want it. No. You're the other one
So
on the
you
pod
weren't.
that's
Oh, no,
excited
hold on,
about
hold
Dune
on,
too.
hold on. Scratch this. So I know you aren't the biggest Dune fan like I am,
Mhm.
but after the cutoff and the way Dune 1 ended, you weren't interested to see at all how the story would continue.
No.
Wow. Okay. Sony is to develop a 28 years later. Cillian Murphy will serve as executive producer, and a decision on if he'll star in the film is to be determined. So he starred in the first film 28 days later, and of course the sequel was 28 weeks later. This is a zombie franchise that I have not seen for whatever reason. I probably will catch up on them by the time this one comes out. But have you seen 28 days later or 28 weeks later?
Never even heard of this, but that's an interesting
Really?
concept. I mean, well, I literally don't know the concept, but it's an interesting title. But yeah, I've never heard of this.
Are you serious? Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is a pretty popular zombie franchise from like the early 2000s. So yeah. Okay. I know you love your zombies. Moving on, let's talk some trailers. We
Let's
have the
do it.
trailer for the My Hero Academia Your Next movie. This movie is coming August 2nd in Japan. That kind of worries me. I don't know if it's coming to the US. I'm sure it is, but I refuse to watch the trailer just because I hate spoilers. And so, did you get a chance to watch this trailer, and what are your thoughts on it?
Well, there's literally no spoilers. This is a 1.2-second teaser, I guess. Like this was nothing. And it was not subbed. So like they were speaking in Japanese, but there was literally no subtitles. So I have no idea what's happening.
Okay.
Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, I may as well not have watched it either.
I saw people like tweet, which I hate spoiler, but people were tweeting like Dark
All Might?
Dark All Might. So maybe that's a storyline in it. So I'm not sure.
Sure.
We have the trailer for Abbott Elementary season 3 has also been released. This premieres February 7th on ABC. I watched the first season of this show and I watched half of season 2. I kind of fell off. To me, it just doesn't appeal to me as like everybody else. It's just not funny to me. But hey, I'm in the minority. People love it. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, man. I think I have kind of the same thing as you. Like I watched all season 1, fell off somewhere in season 2. But I do enjoy this show. I think what happened with this was the actors and writers strike, so they just stopped releasing episodes, and I kind of just lost interest. But this trailer is actually very funny. Apparently, Quentin Bunsen's character and Tyler James Williams' character got together at some point, so that's cool. So there's the fallout from that, I'm guessing, and Ava is as funny as ever. I appreciate this cast so much because I really do think that they have so much chemistry together. I think that they're great together. I'll say all that to say I will not be watching this.
All right, thank you. Niggas like what? Niggas just talking. We have the trailer for the Megamind sequel titled Megamind vs. the Doomsday Syndicate, and it's also getting a TV series as well called Megamind Rules. This will be coming March 1st on Peacock. Both the movie and series drop on the same day. Did you watch the first Megamind movie, and what are your thoughts on this?
Did you watch the first Megamind movie?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it actually.
Interesting.
I asked you if you watched it.
Yeah. Well, I said that because when you tagged me in this is one of those times where you tagged me and shit. I was like, why is he tagging me in this? Like this 5-year-old film.
You didn't watch Megamind?
No. When I saw the trailer when I was 21, I was like, this looks stupid. I'm not watching this bullshit. And when I saw this, I had literally the exact same reaction. Although that doesn't matter because I have not seen the original. So what do I know? I've seen a lot of complaints from fans online saying that the original voice actor has not returned. The CGI looks worse, and things like that. What do I actually know? I'm just regurgitating what people are saying. But yeah, what do you think about this, Mr. Megamind fan?
First of all, the original Megamind is actually like it can be enjoyed by people of all ages. Like it's really like considered like one of the modern, one of the best modern animated movies. It's really good. And that voice actor that you mentioned is actually Will Ferrell, who's not returning as Megamind. And like you said, yes, the animation is abysmal. Like the animation from the movie 10 years ago looks better than the animation in the new movie. Now, granted, it's a Peacock release, so maybe that's to be expected. But also, they did this weird thing where like the trailer had like this early 2000s commentary, which I haven't heard in a long time. It was like Megamind's back, and he's here with friends, and today he's gonna help save the day. I was like, what the hell are we doing here? Like
in a world,
right? Like I was like, what are we doing? This just looks off. And so yeah, I will not be checking for this. It looked way more kiddie than the first version. But yeah, Julian, if you ever want to see a little kids movie, it's better than Migration. I'll tell you that. Check out the first Megamind movie. It's really good, actually.
Which you don't know because you walked out of. So okay, love that.
I saw enough.
You did.
Anyway,
not.
We have the trailer for Lisa Frankenstein, starring Catherine Newton. Yeah, Catherine Newton, of course, Cassie Lang, and Cole Sprouse.
Sweet Life of
February
Zack and Cody
9th
fame.
in theaters. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this trailer was ass. I guess I'm just aging out of these like wonky comedy films. Like they just don't do it for me anymore. Um, which is kind of sad because there was a point where I would like rush to the theater to see something ridiculous and stupid like this. Uh, but I'm just past that now, man. I appreciate the actors involved, and I appreciate that they're trying to do something new and original because in this world of it's either a superhero film or it's a remake, like they're trying to do something different. But this just didn't appeal to me at all. I didn't like this trailer. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree, but I mean, I like these kind of films, like coming of age films with like a different kind of spin to it. So on paper, I would like something like this, but like you said, the trailer just wasn't giving anything. And Catherine Newton might have the John David Washington effect. Like she's not
Damn,
bad at all,
she's just
but
not a star.
she's not a star to me at all. She has no star power, no star quality, in my opinion. I could be wrong,
I
but
mean,
in everything I've seen her in, I just can't see her holding a movie together and me being like, okay, I'm stuck to the screen. Like, but she's fine. She's not bad at all, you know. So that's just my thoughts on it.
okay.
We have the trailer for Tarot, the new horror movie based on the tarot cards, like the cards you use to summon people. I don't know, whatever. Starring Jacob Batalon, who plays Ned in all the Spider-Man MCU movies, and Avantika, who just played Karen in the Mean Girls remake. This comes to theaters May 10th. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this also looked ass. Um, I think I'm just like aging out, and I'm just done with these kind of movies, these kind of like cheap horror movies. Pretty sure I talked about it in the last pod. Like it's either like a spirit, it's nuns, like it's religious, or it's both. Like, it's just like I'm not sure what category this fits into, but I don't care. I I miss just a classic monster movie, and that's just not what I'm getting anymore. Um, I'm not gonna watch this.
Yeah, I don't know about this one either. I'm happy for Jacob Batalon. I think he's talented. Happy that he gets somewhat of a starring role. I guess. I mean, he's one of the standouts in the MCU Spider-Man movies. Avantika as well. I mean, I don't know much about her, but I mean, she was cool as Karen in the Mean Girls movie. But yeah, like as I said during my Night Swim review, modern horror is just it's just not doing it for me. Now, of course, there's exceptions like Hereditary or Get Out, but for the most part, we get shit like this, and I might be not aging out of horror, but just done with bottom of the barrel horror. Anyway, we have the trailer for Guy Ritchie's new film. This nigga be working, but he put out a movie once a year.
He does.
It's called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. This
Hmm.
stars Henry Cavill, Isaac Gonzalez, Alan Richardson, and Henry
Richardson.
Golding. Yeah, it comes to theaters April 19th. What are your thoughts on this new Guy Ritchie film?
It's interesting. On paper, this kind of sounds interesting. Like, we have the leader, we have a ragtag group of guys. They're going to blow some shit up and shoot some shit up. Cool. But then you see the trailer, and it's just like, I feel like I've seen this so many times. And I'm not necessarily sure that I'm interested in these actors together in this setting, in this like espionage. Like, am I interested enough to go to the movies to see this? And I think the answer is no. I love Henry Cavill. I love Alan Richardson. I don't care about seeing them in a shoot 'em up. I really don't. And I think this kind of speaks to, like, I swear, like, if The Rock and Jason Statham made this, I would be their opening night. Because like I know it's not going to be good, but I know what I'm getting, and like I'm sure it's going to be good enough to satisfy me at least. But with something like this, with these actors involved and this time period, I just feel like it's such a fucking risk that I'm going to be disappointed, and I'm just tired of wasting my time at the movies being disappointed with shit like this. So I'm not going to watch this. I'm not.
Yeah, I see where you're saying from in terms of it feeling familiar. I feel like we get like 5 World War II movies a year. Like Hollywood loves World War II.
They fucking
That,
love it.
but if you don't go for it for the actors, I say go for it for the director because I've been noticing like I've been going through Guy Ritchie's filmography. I'm like, this guy doesn't put out bad movies, and so I
Hmm.
put my trust more so in Guy Ritchie than the ensemble. Like last year, his movie The Covenant was one of my top 5 movies of the year. He
Hmm.
made the movie that me and you both love, the King Arthur remake that only me and you have ever seen. Um,
Apparently.
but all of Guy Ritchie's films are fun, like the Sherlock Holmes movies. Like he's just a fun director, and so I put, like you said, maybe on the surface it does look a little generic, and like I've seen it before, but I don't think Guy Ritchie would just put out a generic piece of work. I think he's one of my favorite directors that I think about it. But yeah, so I'll check it out for that if anything.
Okay.
Let's talk some DC, Marvel, a little bit of Star Wars. We have our Supergirl, Millie Alcock, who plays a young Renner in the House of Dragon series, has been cast as Supergirl in the DCU. She will appear in the Superman movie, but she will also have her own film now, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which could start shooting as early as this fall if they find a director. What are your thoughts on the casting, and what are your thoughts on James Gunn giving Supergirl her own film, basically?
Yeah. Overall, I think it's a good thing. I really do overall, because the DCU has to move forward in some shape or form. I think it's good that they're trying to establish actors early, and they're trying to get their base early. We have our Superman. We don't have literally anyone else yet. I don't think we don't have Batman or Wonder Woman or Flash or Green Lantern, but we've got a Supergirl, so that's good. So this means that, you know, there will be a different kind of Justice League. Like, it won't be the same thing we just seen. And Millie Alcock, I think she can do it, honestly. Like, everything I saw from her, and the only thing I've ever seen her in is House of the Dragon season 1 for 6 episodes or whatever it was. So, but she was, and I'm pretty sure I said when we were talking about that, I liked her better than the older Rhaenyra. So I think she can absolutely do this. She can pull it off. And I think she'll be great. And, you know, I'll be there opening night for her movie. And I can't wait to see her in Superman Legacy. I think overall this is a good thing. That's pretty much my impression on it.
Yes, I actually tend to agree. I did make a joke in previous pods about her not being bad enough, but honestly, I do think she has the acting chops. I think she has. I think she has somewhat of the look. And like you said, I'm happy that this could be a new iteration of the Justice League, because she'll obviously be in it. Two Kryptonians is going to be, that's some firepower right there. So they have to bring it. They're going to have to bring it on the villain side. And typically, as we've seen, even with the Flash movie, Supergirl is a much more ruthless kind of Kryptonian than Kal-El. So
because she doesn't have the earthly element at all.
Right. So I'm interested to see how they explore that. I think, like you said, I think Millie Alcock can definitely pull it off, and so I'm excited for her movie as well. So yeah.
I agree.
Sam Rockwell says he is down to return as Justin Hammer in the Armor Wars film that's happening. His quote is, "I'm waiting.
We don't care, nigga. Boo." Sorry, go ahead,
really? Okay. No,
we don't give a fuck about this nigga. Who cares? This nigga. Hey Sam, do you want to return? And sure, I would love to. We don't care, bro. We don't care. Sorry. We don't.
Speak for yourself. I love Sam Rockwell's Justin Hammer. I think if you go back and watch Iron Man 2, it's aged pretty well, and the fact that he is a great foil to somebody as charismatic as a Robert Downey Jr. Like, he matches the charisma. And I just saw Justin Hammer return in the animated medium in the What If series, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I want Justin Hammer back. And so I would love to see Sam. I just saw Sam Rockwell in Argyle, and I keep forgetting this guy is really good in everything that he's in. So yeah, I would love to see it actually. So I disagree with you on that. Speaking of people who might come back, Jeremy Renner says that he is going. He's feeling strong enough now to return to the MCU after his incident, his crazy incident. He almost fucking died. His quote is, "All those guys came to my bedside. I assume the MCU, like Kevin Feige and all them, and they've been with me all through this recovery. So if they want me, they could have me." I saw the Hawkeye series as like a send off for him, but I think he's more so saying this as like, because they were there for me. Basically, if they want me back, I'll do. Even though I was supposed to be leaving the MCU, I'll definitely come back just because they were there for me. So, what are your thoughts on it?
I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Did you seriously believe that in Avengers 7, Hawkeye was not going to be there? Did you honestly believe that?
No, I thought this quote meant more like immediate, like he might be like in the next Avengers film or something like that. I don't know. I mean, of course, they're all going to come back down the line, but I thought he meant more so like an immediate type of coming back.
Okay. So then I just misinterpreted the quote, because to me it sounded.
I could be wrong too. It could be more so what you're saying, like just I'll be there.
Yeah, like to me it sounded like he was saying, look, you know what, guys, if they give me the call when everybody comes back, I'll come back too. And like, bitch, duh. Did you think that you weren't gonna be, nigga? They will superimpose you. You're gonna be there one way or the other, bitch.
He said they will superimpose you.
Yes, like you're gonna fucking be there. So like, what? This quote was just hilarious to me. Like I literally just laughed out loud. Like you don't get a choice, bitch. You're in the first Avengers. You're gonna be in the last one. The fuck?
I still wish that both Scarlett Johansson and Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye and Black Widow got more love. Like they're part of the original six. I look at them almost as the same tier as like an Iron Man or a Thor. Like I love them. So no one else does. I know. No one else feels that way. I know. But
No.
seeing that's just how I feel, bro. I know.
Okay, that's cool, man. That's cool. There's levels to this, but okay.
John Watts, who's director of the Marvel MCU Spider-Man trilogy, says he well not says, but he will reportedly not return to direct Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. Do you think that this departure is for the best, or do you want it to kind of keep the same tone as the trilogy?
Hell no. No. And look, we are talking about a guy who I was not the biggest fan of Homecoming. Since it's come out and since I've seen all three, I do have a new love and appreciation for it. Far From Home can go to fucking hell. No Way Home is really, really good. But it is just like it's Peter's time. Like it's now a new time for Tom Holland's Peter Parker. It's time for a new director. John Watt gave us three really good. Well, he gave us three movies. Okay, so I think I think he's more than done his job and served his purpose. And we need a complete tonal shift because this isn't the same goofy. Oh, am I going to apply to Harvard and get in with my girlfriend? Spider-Man. Like this isn't him. This is a whole new Peter, hopefully, and I'm excited to see what a new director can do in this new trilogy because there's definitely going to be another trilogy with Tom Holland. It's crazy. 6 Spider-Man films with Tom Holland is crazy, but
it'll probably be more by the end of that. By the time it's all said and done.
Yeah. Well, I meant just like solo Spider-Man films.
Yeah, it'll probably be more.
You think it'll be more?
I think it'll be a high school trilogy, a college trilogy, and a Spider-Man like leader of the Avengers trilogy.
That'd be insane.
And who knows? And then maybe another old Logan style trilogy with Tom Holland in his 40s. Seriously.
That'd be crazy. Yeah, you could be right. I'll be there opening night, Tom. I love you.
Spider-Man 9. I'm home, dog.
MJ, I'm home. That'd be crazy. Go ahead, Money. Go ahead.
No, I would put more respect on John Watt's name, but I like you. I do think it's time for a new director. Just because of the tonal shift, like you said, like he's in college now. I think John Watts did a great job with Homecoming. I like Far From Home as well. I think Jake Gyllenhaal adds a lot to that Mysterio role. They upped the stakes in that movie, and I love Far From Home as well, or No Way Home as well. So I think John Watts did his job, but let's switch it up a little bit. Let's give it a different tone. Same thing with like the Thor movies. Like Taika Waititi had his time. He put his stamp on it, and now it's time for somebody else. So no disrespect to John Watts at all.
Yeah, no disrespect.
And only one bit of Star Wars news we have, guys, here is Hayden Christensen will reportedly is set to return as Anakin Skywalker in Ahsoka Season 2. How do you feel about this? Are they overusing Anakin / Vader?
This is interesting because I feel like I'm always the one that presses that button when it comes to Vader and Joker and guys like that. Like, I always say less is more. But in this instance, I absolutely want this. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I want Hayden back. That's my thought. Yeah, I want him back. Like there's no real analysis. Like I want him. So yeah, I'm happy.
I want more Anakin. I don't know about
that's
more
what
Vader.
I mean. That's what I mean.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
I mean Anakin specifically.
Oh, well, you didn't say that, so okay.
I did. I said I want Anakin back. I said I want Anakin.
Okay. Annie. That nigga was 10 years old trying to fuck on Padme.
He was trying to fuck. What did nigga say?
Fuck, like, literally.
Said, are you an angel? Nigga had pickup lines at 6. Nigga, what?
That was nuts. But anyway,
nuts. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking all this shit like I don't want him back as Vader. Like if he came back as Vader, I'd be fucking happy. But
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not like we got a ton of him as Vader in Ahsoka Season 1. Like it was just a flash, and I can't.
But just because he's so old now, I mean, if he comes back as Anakin, I assume it will be flashbacks to the Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. And I mean, they got to do really good on CG then to make him look younger. Because yeah,
that can be done. What? Okay.
Hopefully, I mean, hopefully. But also, have you been seeing the fan rumors online that Shadow is going to be Hayden Christensen? Because there's like on the Sonic 3, like the little teaser, like there's like Shadow's like laughing in the background, like they're like, that's Hayden's laugh, that's Hayden's laugh. What do you think about that potential casting? Are they kind of leaning into the Darth Vader Shadow thing?
Probably
Anakin Shadow thing, like two dark characters.
Probably, but I don't care. I would love it honestly, and I think People are really saying that because Hayden sounds like the voice actor who did Shadow in the 2001 game Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Okay.
So because he sounds like that voice actor a little bit, well, a lot, honestly, if you put him side by side, people are like Hayden would be perfect. And I agree. I would love it if Hayden did the voice. I would love it.
All right, let's move on to our show and movie reviews. Of course, we both finished Percy Jackson, I assume. But did you watch any other shows or finish any other
No.
shows?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't have nothing else to talk about with Percy fucking Jackson. Okay.
Well, I watched one show, so I'll get that out the way.
We don't care. We don't care. Save it for TikTok. We
Wow.
don't care. Move on.
Why
Percy Jackson
why would
now.
you say that? Why
Okay,
would
go
you
ahead.
say
Man.
that?
I'm kidding. You're right.
I hurt my feelings, actually.
Oh my god. I finished Sweet Tooth season 3. It sucked. Okay. Go ahead.
Anyway, I watched this show called Arcane League of Legends, which actually came out in 2021.
This is
It's an
animated
show on Netflix. Yeah. I just heard so many good things about the show for like the last 2 years. And so I was like, let me go ahead and just watch it. It's based apparently on the League of Legends video game. Have you ever heard that video game?
League of Legends. Yep.
I never heard of it, but I was so intrigued by the show. I watched some of the gameplay and I didn't see any kind of correlation at all. But anyway, so it's almost so this show stars Haley Steinfeld as the main character Vi. So Haley Steinfeld slowly becoming a really good voice actress. She does her thing as Gwen Stacy in the Spider-Verse movies. She does really good here as a lead as well. It almost feels redundant at this point to kind of talk about how animation is so good, but these days animation has just reached a different level, bro. It's just fucking gorgeous. Like this shit is amazing. And particularly with this show, like the lighting, like just the lights, the glares, the shines, the glows, like it just makes every frame pop. I would say that this show, kids can enjoy this show, but only of a certain age, I'd say, because it definitely has some violence. There's some sex. It's definitely for an older audience. So I'm an older audience, so I obviously appreciate that. But if you're going to have your kids watch it, make sure they're at least middle school, high school age, because even the plot itself has some very kind of semi-complex things going on. That I had to kind of like sit back, like, okay, I can't just watch this in the background. I got to actually like pay attention and like, because it's really,
you gotta lock in.
Really, you got to lock in for this kind of show, which I enjoy. I love that kind of stuff. Speaking of the animation, the animators who brought this world to life, I give them so much praise. It's like a mix of like cyberpunk and like magic, or that's what the Arcane is in the show, which is just really, really cool. I love just like this show is so cool in terms of the end, like the world that they built. I think it would actually look really good live action too, if they had the budget, of course. I would love to see this translated to like a live action medium, just because like I said, the subject material is just so kind of like ready for that kind of transition. And I would love to see like a cyberpunk magic kind of world in real time. So overall, I gave this season a B. I think it's really good. I see why people love it. I'm excited for season 2. It left on a crazy cliffhanger, which is gonna be like an all out war probably in the next season. So guys, thank you for recommending Arcane. I think you would love it too. Is if anybody who loves animation, I don't see how you don't at least like this show. So yeah. Now let's move on to the big one. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which is now streaming on Disney Plus. Just for context, Julian has grown up reading all the books. He loves this source material. I did not read the books. My only exposure was the Logan Lerman movies, which I love.
Which was better? You're telling me the Logan that nigga's movies were better? Oh my god!
His rant is loading. I think it's at 100%.
Monty, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Okay, so I want to first of all, guys, this is 100% going to be a rant, and this is going to take a while. So buckle the fuck in, okay? I can't believe this show was as bad and uneventful as it was. Now, there's a difference between bad and uneventful. So if your show is both, that's crazy. Like how? How can you make a show that's both bad and uneventful, bro? Like you've got to actively try to do that. This was I'm trying to think if I want to say the whole spoiler thing, because I don't even know what I could say that would spoil it. But that's how uneventful it was. Like that's how absolutely uneventful this thing was. Like what plot point could I possibly say to be like, oh, hold on, guys, I don't want to say that. Like, I mean, holy fuck, guys, okay, let me just start from the beginning because I'm just getting angry here. Okay, so when the show initially got announced, I was over the moon excited. Like I couldn't believe it. We were finally getting a dedicated series for Percy Jackson. I thought that I thought that Disney Plus would be the perfect home for this. Like I was just like, this is great. And Rick Riordan, who's the author of the books, I thought, because he had complete creative control over this series. I was like, there's no way that this is going to be bad. And boy, was I wrong. Once the trailer started to come out, I was starting to get worried. Like, I don't know if you remember, Monty. I was telling you, I was like, man, these trailers don't look good.
I remember.
Like they do not look good, man. Like I'm worried. What's going on? Like, the trailers don't look good, Monty.
I remember.
You know, the first 2 episodes release, and I think the major issue with this show is that they made things that happen in the book or the movies just seem just so blah and bland and just like to fill time. Like Percy's supposed to have this big moment by killing Mrs. Dodds in the beginning. This is his introduction to the world, and like it kind of just happened. And I feel like that's like the story with literally everything in this series, is like things kind of just happen. Walker Scobell, he tried his hardest, but I don't know if he's the leading man. I don't know if he's Percy Jackson. Leah Jeffries as Annabeth, she was terrible in the beginning. She was terrible. Like, and first of all, I mean acting wise, like she was just terrible. There was no way that I thought fucking Armyan Shimhard, or whatever his name is, Grover, was going to be the best out of the trio. There was no way that I thought that he was going to be the best. And he wasn't even good. He was just the best because he's fucking Grover. Annabeth and Percy have the most to do in the show. Like that, like they're the stars. Like they're fucking Harry and Hermione, and Grover's Ron. And like, how the fuck did Armyan, like how did Grover have like the best scenes? Like, how was I smiling the most when Grover was on my TV, bro? How? Instead of Percy fucking Jackson. There were maybe
no Brandon T. Jackson though.
Please shut the fuck up. Please shut the fuck up.
He wasn't no Brandon T. Jackson.
You're fucking right. He wasn't. He was way better than.
Yeah. We gotta go, man.
Oh my god. There was one moment in the show where I was like, okay, this is great. And that was when Poseidon claimed him, when they were doing the capture the flag moment. I thought the animation of the full trident above his head was dope. Most of his water power scenes looked ridiculous. That's just my opinion. The one at the end where he was fighting Ares, first of all, he's fighting the god of war. He mopped Ares up. Like, he mopped him up. Bro, like, in the books, he wins. Of course he wins. But, like, he doesn't mop Ares up. Like, this is like a 30-second to 45-second fight scene between the god of war.
A 14-year-old?
He's 12.
Oh,
he's 12. That's even worse. He's 12. And this nigga just learned how to fight last episode with Luke in flashback.
So, but even in the book, how does he win? Like you said, Ares, I mean, like I said, I didn't read the books, but Ares is the god of war. He don't lose fights. Like, how does he lose to a 12-year-old?
Similar.
Like the big three. The big three would come in, I assume, and beat him. But other than that,
yeah.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in the book, he loses similarly. Like, they make some kind of deal. Percy cuts him up, blah, blah, blah. But that's not the point. Like, obviously, he doesn't actually beat Ares in a sword fight like that. No, but he wins the battle or whatever. But like in the book, and like I'm trying to refrain from saying in the book because obviously these are two different things. Even though it's based off the source material, this isn't the source material. But like it just felt so much more earned when Percy did things, or Annabeth did things in the book, versus in this show. And ultimately, that was the biggest problem with the show, man. They just made everything that was supposed to be an event basically just happen. There were just so many times when I was watching the show where I was just actively angry. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Some of the side characters casting, like whoever casted Chiron needs to be fucking fired, because that nigga was ass. Shout out to Lance Riddick as being Zeus. It was cool, but like he was there for a scene, so I guess I won't judge him too harshly.
Also, you know, the girl who plays Medusa was Nora from The Flash.
Yeah, great. Anyway, yeah, man, like it was this series just disappointed me so much, man. I think I genuinely believe that this is one of the worst TV series I've ever seen. Like, oh, wow. I gave this an F. This is one of the worst pieces of put together bullshit that I've ever seen. My disappointment cannot be measured, and I just, yeah. Go ahead, Monty. I'll let you go. I'm sorry. I'm getting sweaty. I'm here fucking ranting and shit.
I love when you're ranting. It really gets me hot.
Whoa, what?
I'm kidding. Anyway, so like my only exposure is the Logan Lerman movies. I love Lightning Thief. Sea of Monsters can go to hell. But like you said though, I think this movie had three ingredients that really, or this series had three ingredients that could really, I thought, would elevate it to like like a upper echelon. Number one being that, like you said, the creator Rick Riordan was so heavily involved creatively. Number two was that you're backed by fucking Disney, and so you have the budget of The Mandalorian for each episode, which I didn't see. And number three is that you have a series format now as opposed to a movie, so you can definitely take time to flesh out a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to in a movie that you have to kind of gloss over or cram in. And so I figured this would be a lot more faithful to the books and have a lot, which I don't know if it is or not, or just have a lot more time to give character development, stuff like that. So I was disappointed about all three of those aspects. Now, I love Greek mythology. I mean, that was like one of my favorite classes in high school. I sound like such a nerd saying that, but I love Pegasus. I love Zeus. I love all that kind of shit. And this show had so much Greek. Shut the fuck up! I can't ever do a review.
I love Greek mythology. Pegasus and Zeus and shit, nigga. Like, way to show off, buddy. I love the Justice League, Superman and Batman and shit. What, nigga? You're fucking hilarious. You're hilarious.
This show, the crux of this show is mythology, and it just felt so magicless. Like you said that you watched it with hate and vitriol. I watched every episode with just like total indifference. Like I don't care. Like you said, it just wasn't eventful at all. Now in regards to the big three, so we got Percy, Annabeth, and Grover. Walker Scobell, I know he's talented. I saw him in the Tomorrow Project on Netflix with him and Ryan Reynolds. He was really good in that. In this show, I don't know. Like I said, I blame maybe the writing because I've seen him be talented in other things before. And his voice started to really, like, he's a kid, so I'm trying to take it easy. His voice started to really annoy me, like the little crackly shit. And the character of Percy came off as a bitch. Like he was getting bullied by girls in the first three episodes. Like, is that true to the books? Was girls putting his head in toilets and shit like that? Like, was that really happening?
Well, you mean Clarice, who's the daughter of Ares? Yeah, that's how he activated his powers. Yeah.
Even at school, though, when he was at regular school, the girls were bullying him. I was like, this is not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his mom told him not to hit women, so like most boys' mothers do. I'm not sure what you wanted him to do.
Me either, but I'll be damned if I ever get bullied by a fucking girl. Anyway.
Okay, sir. All right. Jesus. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, you and Percy were just raised different, brother. That's all. That is all. Okay. Got it.
The big three had no chemistry whatsoever. And like I said, I am currently watching the Harry Potter films, and so I know it's not fair to compare, but just seeing even a 10-year or 11-year-old Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint, like they have so much more chemistry than these three kids. It's not even funny. And it's funny because I've watched like cast interviews on TikTok and like them like behind the scenes.
They're great together.
Going to Disney World. They're so fun together. Yeah, they have great chemistry. They seem to actually like each other. And so the fact that it wasn't translated to the show, I have to strictly blame the writing and directing at that point. So yeah. Also, from a technical standpoint, the show had very weird transition shots. I don't know if you noticed that. Like it would feel like a commercial break. Like, it would just cut to black and be like a whole new scene. I'm like, was it like a commercial supposed to be there or something like that? That kind of bothered me a little bit. And it was corny, but like not in like an endearing way. Like not like the endearing kind of corny. It was a bad corny because it tried to take itself seriously, and I just couldn't ever get on board with how serious it was trying to take. Now, there's one scene in the finale between Zeus and Poseidon, played by Toby Stevens and Lance Reddick, which I thought that was a great scene because I'm like, if the show was able to maintain that tone throughout its entirety, it would have had real stakes. I was able to take it seriously, maybe, because that argument was just very like I think that was just kind of a credit to like that level of actors that were involved. Like they were just two seasoned actors, and maybe everybody else wasn't. Like the guy who played Luke, he was like, it was so crazy. He was acting. It wasn't even funny. Like he was just, you can tell he just like is an actor, and that's not a good thing per se, you know. But anyway. Overall, I gave the show a D. So many niggas tried to gaslight me on TikTok, like not just me, but like their viewers, like, oh, this show is now it's getting good. Or I would watch like live reactions of them watching the finale. Like, okay, you know what? This is a good show now, and I will not let you niggas gaslight me. This show was not fucking good. I gave it a D. I think it's a bad show. I actually don't even want to see season 2. I just want to see Logan Lerman return and give me a a 40-year-old Percy for the next movie.
So I have a few follow-up questions for you, Monty. So as you stated, I read the book. You have only seen the movie. So there are quite a few differences from the film and this, mainly being Ares. Ares wasn't in the movie at all. What did you think about Adam Copeland, who is a wrestler? He was a great wrestler. What did you think about his Ares, and what did you think about his involvement? Did it take you out the story at all?
No, it didn't.
Okay, go ahead.
No, it didn't take me out of the story at all. I think he definitely has the look of an Ares for sure. But at the same time, it wasn't like good. I don't think it was like a great rendition of Ares. It was just cool. Like he was there. He kind of matched the tone of everybody else in the show. Like he's just there doing his part. I didn't look at him as like, oh, he's a wrestler, so he's not doing as good as everybody else. Not at all.
Okay. And this is kind of weird, but the Percy and Ares thing is supposed to be like the crux of the first book, obviously, because in the film he's completely cut out. So like the main story in this is Ares versus Percy. This has huge implications moving forward. But what did you think of their rivalry, their battle, or whatever the case may be? Because you didn't get this at all in the film.
Yeah, I thought it was just nothing. I didn't think anything of it, honestly. I didn't even know that the Ares and Percy thing was like supposed to be like the crux of the first book. I didn't even get that from the series. Also in the movie, I remember Hades' wife, played by Rosario Dawson. Was she a character in the book?
Mm-hmm. Persephone.
Okay, but she wasn't in the series, though, right?
She was. So she was the one sitting on the throne when he was not there at first. That was Persephone.
Okay, but she didn't get any lines like how Rosario Dawson did?
Yeah, she didn't have any lines yet. No.
Okay. But yeah, other than that, yeah. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the show.
The Lotus Hotel and Casino scene. This was, to me, this was episode 5 or 6, I think. I was holding out hope that they were going to nail it and that this was going to be the episode that kind of turned the series around. And in the show, it fucking sucked. Like, it was so ass. But in the movie, again, shout out to Brendan T. Jackson. I thought they did the scene so well. Like, it was so entertaining. And there was so much mystery involved. But like in this, like it kind of just happened. What do you think about those two versions?
Yeah, I definitely prefer the movie version as well. But I prefer a lot of things in the movie. I really think everything in the movie, I literally prefer everything. As opposed to the show. Yeah. Literally everything.
Yeah. Yeah. You might be kind of right. Fuck. I mean, which is crazy. That's just okay. Let's move on before I just get fucking angry again. Jesus Christ.
Did you watch any films?
No films.
Okay, I watched 2. The first one is The Underdog. This is the film starring Snoop Dogg on Prime Video. This film is directed by Charles Stone III, who directed a lot of actually iconic movies for our black people. Like he made Drumline and Paid in Full in the same year. I believe that was 2002. He also did the Uncle Drew movie as well with Kyrie Irving and Shaq and all of them. Now he's back doing this, so quite a fall from grace there. Now this movie stars Snoop Dogg and Mike Epps, and also Tika Sumpter as well. And the plot of this movie is basically it's like a hood version of the Bad News Bears. So you got a guy who was great in his heyday,
old like Rebound.
Now. Oh yeah, like Rebound. Old now, comes back to teach his a young group of delinquent kids how to be great. We've seen this 1,000 times in sports movies before. But this movie might have an achievement on its belt that it might be the most predictable movie I've ever seen in my entire life. So shout out to the movie for that. This movie is littered with a whole bunch of celebrities like Andrew Schultz. We got George Lopez, Candy Burris, Deion Sanders, and many, many more. So I knew this film was going to be bad, honestly, from the trailer, but I just wanted to have fun with it. The Snoop Dogg comedy, I think we both said like we want these kind of comedies to come back intermittently. Mm-hmm. And it just wasn't funny and it wasn't good. No. It was quite bad. But comedy is subjective. If you find little kids acting like adults and cursing and drinking liquor, if you find that kind of shit funny, you'll probably have a really good time with this film. If there's any good thing about the film, I'll say there's a kid in the film who plays Tika Sumpter's son. Well, first of all, Tika Sumpter, let me say that she needs some more respect. Like she is fine. Like bro, like we always talk about like the Megan Goods of the world and Lauren London's, but Tika Sumpter has been in Black Hollywood for a long time too. She's been in like a lot of Tyler Perry stuff, and she deserves her credit in the upper echelon of women. So anyway, her son in the film I think is a highlight for me in the movie. He has a lot of charisma. He's spunky. I can see this kid having a big career, and that's kind of where the accolades end. And it's just weird too because like Snoop Dogg has so much real life experience doing this kind of stuff in real life, like actually taking kids from the hood putting them on the field. And so I know the film was like a stupid comedy, like that's like the aim it's going for, but you could still have some kind of substance that you could draw from that. But that wasn't their intention at all. I gave it a D. It was a pretty bad film.
How was Mike Epps?
Not Mike Epps was just there. Like he was trying to be funny, and like I said, I don't think I even laughed at him once, honestly.
All right.
And I like Mike Epps, so yeah. Next review here, guys, is for Argyle. This is the new film directed by Matthew Vaughn. He made films like X-Men First Class, Kick-Ass, all the Kingsman movies, and he's back with another spy movie. He loves his little spy movies. This film has an insane cast as well. We got Bryce Dallas Howard, we got Sam Rockwell, Henry Cavill, of course, John Cena, Ariana DeBose, Bryan Cranston, Samuel L. Jackson, and more. So, and also this film has a cat in the cast, which I think is the cutest cat I've ever seen in the movie. But take that with a grain of salt, because I think every cat that I see in the movie is the cutest cat I've ever seen in the movie. It was just Goose and his little kittens, or her little kittens in the Marvels. So now it's this cat. And so I'm pretty sure the next movie I see that has a cat in it will be the cutest cat I've ever seen in the movie. Live action cats only. Now, speaking of Sam Rockwell, like we just said with Justin Hammer or whatever, I've taken him for granted for a long time. He's such a star, and he's definitely the highlight of the film for me. I would have never imagined Sam Rockwell like some kind of action star, but he definitely pulls it off. He got in shape for the role, and he's definitely one of the most charismatic actors in Hollywood, in my opinion. Now, the movie is mildly funny, but what I give the movie the most credit for is the fact that it's had me on my toes. Like, I didn't know at all where the movie was going. It had a lot of twists and turns and surprises and stuff like that. And so you get credit for that, because I've seen a lot of films. And so if you can keep me on my toes and have me guessing, then you get credit. And I might be in the minority for that, because I've seen a lot of people have been saying like this movie is so predictable. I knew that was going to happen. So maybe I'm just stupid, but I didn't know what was going to happen for the majority of the film.
You just don't read, brother. That's all.
All right. Now, if you've seen this show on Prime Video called The Citadel with Richard Madden and Priyanka Chopra Jonas, it does have some similarities from a plot standpoint to that. I'm not going to spoil it, obviously, but yeah, I think they definitely have some similarities. I'll just say that. And the finale of the film, or the third act, dragged so much. It really brought it down for me. It was the longest finale ever. But it was brightened up by two really cool action sequences that can only be done by like somebody like a what's the nigga's name? Matthew Vaughn. If you know his kind of Kingsman style action, then you know that kind of stuff is still here now. So if you like the Kingsman movies, I'll say check this out. But if you're not really a fan of those kind of movies, it's definitely kind of the same from that kind of tone. Not as good as those movies, but I wouldn't check it out if you aren't like the fan of those kind of movies. And apparently there's a post-credit scene for this movie as well that kind of ties. I didn't know. I left the movie theater. I didn't know there's a post-credit scene, but it ties in the Kingsman universe and this universe, which doesn't make any sense, because Samuel Jackson and Sophia Boutella were in the first Kingdom movie as the villains, and they played totally different characters in this movie. So I don't know what Matthew Vaughn's trying to pull here, but the MCU has struck again with their inspiration, and we now have an Argyle / Kingsman universe. So yeah. I gave it a B-, by the way.
Yay.
Let's talk just some overall developments going on right now. Netflix has a live action Avatar: The Last Airbender series, as we know, is coming out soon. And there's something that's been going on in regards to a character that we love, Sokka. For people who watched the animated show, they took out how sexist the character Sokka is. The quote was, or is, there was a lot of moments in the original show that were iffy regarding Sokka's sexist traits or whatever. But as me and you have expressed online, and many other people as well, that was a huge part of literally Sokka's arc, was to get over the sexism and understand that women can, do things like men or whatever. So what are your thoughts just on this, and more so, I guess, its implications of what else they might change?
Well, I mean, are we going to talk about everything else that they've said? This is only the tip of the iceberg. Sure. Yeah, no pun intended. Holy shit.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is, I really don't have much to add. This is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, both of us have spoken about how we feel. Now, look, I will say that most of the quotes that I'm reading is just is them saying that it doesn't translate as easy as it is to translate in animation. So, and I kind of empathize with that, because dialogue is very tricky between those two mediums. You can absolutely get away with saying something in animation that if you say it in live action between two live people, it comes off very differently. So, I mean, maybe they're 100% right, and we don't need Sokka saying, "You're a girl, bitch. You can't do this." You know, like they.
But it's other ways to do that, Julian. You can show and not
I
tell. You can do a lot of stuff.
I 100% agree. I'm just going by with what I've been reading from these articles from the director and the showrunner, that I guess they've just been on a press tour because the show's about to come out. So, but yeah, man, they're talking about taking out a lot of stuff. They've talked about season 1 is not going to be as episodic. Like they're not going to do certain things, and Aang's just going to have a vision. So we won't get like the Elephant Koi episode, which introduced us to the Kyoshi warriors and Avatar Kyoshi herself. We may not get some of those fun adventures. But on the other side, they said that we are going to see the decimation of the Northern Air Temple. So cool, I guess. We get to see people getting killed. Yay. But look, I mean, most things that I've seen about this show just kind of confirmed what I thought on our last news pod, where I was just like, the creators left the show for a reason, man. Like they did. The trailer looked great, but there's something stinks here. And pretty much every time the creator of this Netflix show says something, I'm just like, okay, I get it. I mean, this is just going away from their vision, and like, hey, look, maybe they're just not smart enough to make these things that happen in the animated show happen smoothly or differently, but still get the same effect in live action. And if that's what they're telling us, we kind of just got to throw our hands up and accept it. I mean, they're saying that they can't do it. Like they cannot make Sokka sound cool and sexist. They can't. So okay, great. Let's get ready for the Netflix series, guys. February 22nd, I believe. So let's do it.
Yeah, my only thing to add to that is that my issue is not with that particular thing. Like, well, I mean, I do have an issue with that, but like, that's not like why I'm just so mad. It's more so like just the implications of like what else they're going to change, and also the fact that they're just so scared. I feel like they're scared to just have a flawed character, which is it's okay to have flawed characters. Like even if Sokka never got over his sexism at all, add it in the show. People are like that. And just to kind of depict your heroes as just these perfect archetypes, I think it does more harm than good, in my opinion. And so that kind of shit just really bothers me. And I'm tired of this woke shit. Like, it's okay to have a hero who's just goes against the grain, or just because I don't know that I have a whole tangent on that, which I'm not going to get into right now. But it's okay to have arcs, and it's okay to yeah. Anyway, moving on. Lil Dicky says that he's probably taking some time off for the next season of his Dave series on FX, really popular series. He states that he fell in love with making music again and wants to maximize his potential of being a top rapper before he gets too old. And so I watched Dave. I'm a big fan of that show. But honestly, I don't have a problem with this statement at all. As much as I would love a Dave season 4 as soon as possible, I think Lil Dicky is actually a really talented rapper. And he finally put out the actual Dave soundtrack, which I've been clamoring for a long time, and it's amazing. Like this dude can really rap his ass off when he's not playing around. And so if he wants to take his time and make some more music, I win either way. Either I get Dave season 4 or more music, I don't care. Bryan Cranston of all people says that he wants to see a film sequel to The Office, and some cast members are already actually on board. Including Jenna Fisher. What would your thoughts be on The Office returning in cinematic form for like a last conclusion?
I think it'd be absolutely perfection if they decide to do it. If everybody involved decides to do it, I think it'd be absolute perfection. I think if there's going to be any sequel talk about The Office, I think this is the way to go. We have closure with certain characters like Dwight and even Michael Scott, but we don't know what's going on with Jim and Pam or any of the other characters. So maybe it's just like a reunion comedy type thing. I don't know, but I would absolutely love for this to happen. I think that this is the way to go if they're going to do anything with The Office that we know and love. My opinion.
Totally agree. This would be well. First of all, I feel like season 9 had an amazing send off for all the characters. But
I agree.
if you're gonna bring it back, this would be so awesome. I think this would literally make $1 billion. Like The Office has garnered so many fans. Seriously, I think it's a guaranteed billion. The Office has garnered so many fans over the generations. Like even like Gen Z to millennials to boomers to everybody loves The Office now because it's streaming everywhere. And this would just be an amazing, bro. Like you said, bring back fucking Steve Carell and everybody. Like this would be so awesome, and I would love it. So yeah. This is now it's time for my little tidbit time. You know I love my little tidbits. The actor Sean Connery. You know who that is, right?
Yes, Mr. James Bond himself.
Yes, turned down the role of 3 iconic roles, which is from 3 crazy franchises, which is just insane to me. Morpheus in The Matrix, Albus Dumbledore in the Harry Potter films and Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. His quote was he turned them off because those scripts just didn't get it. And so he ended up doing League of Extraordinary Gentlemen in 2003 as his last and final movie, which I just saw the other day I saw it
Really?
I saw it of course in the past, but I watched it again
Mm-hmm.
because I used to as a kid I used to fucking love that movie as a kid.
Yeah.
And he did that movie, and that was his last film he ever did, and it did horrible at the box office. It was critically bombed. I loved it as a kid.
I
I
was
don't
about to
care
say,
what nobody says.
I really enjoy that movie. What? Okay.
But I did watch it a couple days ago. It didn't age the best, but I still had a lot of fun with it. I gave it like a C plus, I believe. But anyway, what are your thoughts on
Wait,
him?
you rated League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Well,
That shit came out like 2003. You're funny.
Yeah, I have like all these like throwback reviews I do on TikTok and Instagram. So yeah,
Shit.
I rate them like how I do like a regular movie. But anyway, though Morpheus, Gandalf, and Dumbledore, like that's like he would have struck gold with either one of those. Like anyone, like take your pick.
Yeah, but I mean, look, if you don't get it, you don't believe the source material, pass, brother. I'm glad that the people that got it. So, shout out to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I mean, like Sean Connery didn't need to do anything at that point. He was fucking James Bond.
Yeah.
So like, he had the luxury of picking and choosing. It's crazy that he picked and chose over Morpheus, Gandalf, and Dumbledore, but whatever.
And I mean, and granted, I love the choices for Morpheus and Gandalf. They're all perfect for Dumbledore, Gandalf, and Morpheus. But like the Matrix originally had, Sean Connery could have been Morpheus and Will Smith is Neo. Could you guys have seen that?
That would be
I
crazy.
actually could have.
Yeah.
I could have seen it, but I love the Keanu. And anyway, we have new details on Universal Epic's new theme park called Universal's Epic Universe. It's going to launch in Florida in 2025, and it's going to have lands for 4 different kind of lands basically. It's going to play on the whole multiverse idea with park visitors being able to go through different portals to go to each section. So we got a Super Nintendo World finally coming to America, which has only been, I think, in Tokyo right now. And I think it's in France too. We have a Harry Potter Ministry of Magic. Now, this is different than the Harry Potter world that's already established because this is like 1920s Paris, which I don't know if that tracks or it makes any sense, but it's 1920s Paris Ministry of Magic. We have a dark universe of like all the monsters in like Universal, like the Frankenstein, Wolfman, Dracula. And we have a How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk universe as well. So would you want to visit something like this in the near future?
No, not a music park guy. I don't care about this. Not going to visit. No.
Really?
Really?
Wow, I love music. This is really cool. I would go to all 4 of these worlds. Have you ever visited Harry Potter World since you're a big Harry Potter fan?
I have. Yeah, I did last year. And it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. I went
You
because
went last year?
I went because I was such a big fan, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't wait! Oh my god!" And it was the worst 2 hours. I was just like, "I am ready to fucking go." So yeah.
Why? Because you were standing like in lines and stuff a lot.
I mean that's part of it, yeah. So, but I did get to go to Ollivanders, and they did the whole getting your wand thing. I did get a wand. I did. That was pretty cool.
I wonder.
Yeah, but
you still have
brother, I still have it. Yeah, to this day, it's around here somewhere. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, I'm sorry you had a bad time. I figured it'd be amazing.
Nah.
You tried the butterbeer?
I couldn't. The line was a 90-minute wait. I couldn't do it, unfortunately. So butterbeer, butter fucking beer. Yeah. So I was just like, okay. I want to go home. I'm ready to get the fuck out of here.
Sorry you had a bad time. A couple things left, guys. We have some video game news. You spoke about this Rise of Ronin game that's apparently coming out, or maybe it's some gameplay or a trailer. What are your thoughts? I mean, tell me about that game because you obviously talked about it on Twitter, so you must want to talk about it.
Yeah, the Rise of the Ronin. It's this new game that's coming out through Sony. I'm pretty sure it's exclusively for PS5. It looks insane, man. Like they had a PlayStation State of Play the other day, and they had a pretty 4 or 5 minute gameplay footage of it. I will say the graphics don't look as good as some of the other things I've seen, but the actual gameplay mechanics look fantastic. It just looks like a bunch of fun, and I'm super excited for it. I think it comes out later this year, so yeah, I'll be there as soon as it drops. I can't wait to play it.
I've been talking to a coworker of mine about this game that's really popular right now with like the Pokemon mods called Power World.
Power World, yeah.
Have you played that? Like, what's the hype? Like, I've been seeing people talk about this game like crazy. Like, people saying, "Oh, this is the Pokemon game that what's it called should have made Nintendo years ago."
Game Freak, yeah.
Game Freak. So, what do you thoughts?
I haven't played it. I'm actually studying for my Security Plus cert, so I've tried to cut out stuff like that because it just takes up too much of my time. But
okay, congrats.
Thank you. The everything that I've seen just makes me so jealous because I'm just like, this looks amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's just like an open world Pokemon. I mean, I don't know, like yeah, like it looks amazing. It looks very fun to play. I mean, you know, the online name for it is like Pokemon with guns because you can like shoot the Pokemon, like literally kill them, which is crazy. You can like enslave them, which is also crazy, but
Them
whatever.
whites, boy. Them whites.
Yeah, then why? Hey. They just gotta put a slave on something, boy.
Y'all gonna find a way to enslave some shit.
Y'all niggas gonna own something around here, ain't you, boy? So yeah, man. But like, I mean, I'm like totally underselling it though. Like it, I mean, everything that I've seen, it looks absolutely amazing, and I'll play it eventually. But I just don't have the time to spend 10 hours a day doing that, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, my coworker said he logged in 65 hours last week. I was like,
That's
okay,
ridiculous.
You're nuts. You're nuts.
Exactly. Yeah. See that right there is what I'm fucking scared of. Like, I can't be doing that, man. I
He
can't.
said, bro, it's fucking awesome.
I
Anyway,
bet.
Shadow the Hedgehog is back with classic and modern Sonic in Sonic X Shadow Generations, or Sonic and Shadow Generations. It's coming autumn 2024 this year. You see the trailer for this game? What are your thoughts?
Interesting. Yeah, I saw the trailer. 2D and 3D look cool, I guess. I like that they're trying to put the Sonic Adventure 2 battle spin on it, where like they have some of the same levels and stuff like that. But if I'm being real, I'm probably not going to play this. I think I'm kind of phased out of these Sonic games. They're just all the same, and I don't really feel any connection to it anymore, honestly. Which is crazy because I literally cannot wait for Sonic 3, the movie, to come out. But yeah, I don't. I think I'm just gonna skip this if I'm being real.
Yeah, I mean, I used to love Sonic growing up, like the games, and it looks cool. The trailer, I mean, we get to see classic Sonic and modern Sonic together. That's really fun. And Shadow, of course, and it like they had some elements of like Sonic Riders, which I used to fucking love that game. So if they can bring back some elements of that, that'd be really cool as well. Um, yeah, I saw a funny tweet as well. It was like bring like for Sonic 3, like bring back the villain, or like the villain should be like the old Sonic design. Should be the villain for Sonic 3.
I don't get it.
Remember the design everybody hated that we bullied the internet, bullied him.
Oh, that's no, they shouldn't do that. That's not funny. Don't do that.
they said make him the villain for Sonic 3.
That's not crazy. Funny, guys. Stop it.
And last bit of news, guys, we end on a sad note. Carl Weathers has sadly passed away at the age of 76. The iconic Apollo Creed from the Rocky movies, Grief Karga, of course, from the Mandalorian and the Predator film. I had no idea this guy played in the NFL for one season, so just an illustrious career, and just honestly, just like a legend. Honestly, like I was
legend, man.
Like, this guy is like a fucking legend.
Yeah,
and everybody that's worked with him, from Sylvester Stallone to Giancarlo Esposito, Pedro Pascal,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Nothing but just amazing, glowing thing about how good of a man he was, and so it actually kind of broke my heart when it's kind of like ruined my day when I heard the news. And so, yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, man, very sad, very tough, man. Seen him my entire life in movies. It's interesting because there's a wrestler who based his personality or his character on the Apollo Creed character. Like that's how this wrestler, his name is Xavier or Austin Creed. But yeah, like that's how iconic the Apollo Creed character is. I mean, we literally have Adonis Creed now because of Apollo Creed, which Carl Weathers played. So yeah, man, it's just a terrible loss, man. And rest in peace to Carl Weathers, and praying for his family.
Yeah, same here. Well, guys, that wraps it up. Thank you.
Thanks, Monty. You're the best, man.
Yep.